Hello everyone and welcome to the official guide to region guessing the Eastern US using car metas and focusing on 2023 copyright. So today we're going to be focusing on striped car, which is one of the most useful and recognizable cars in all of the US. And striped car 2023 only exists in the Eastern US anyways, so we're going to be focusing on this. There's a lot of very recognizable and easily distinguishable clusters with this car, notably Nebraska, northern Minnesota, northern Vermont, Texas, and Louisiana cluster. And it is very useful to region guess like regions like the South, the Midwest, to know that you are pretty far north, to region guess the Northeast, region guess the Plains. So pretty nice stuff. Now, this is a document I just made and that will be linked in the description that you can use. A JSON will be featured at the end, as well as practice maps for all of the cars. So yeah, feel free to look at this document, but I strongly encourage to stay for the video to see like what stuff is gonna be very important to region guess striped car. So now let's take a look at the clusters that we have with striped car. Now within the plains, we only have the Nebraska cluster to focus on, so it is a very recognizable, like dryish plains landscape. So this cluster, you're gonna be able to get it most of the time. Just knowing it exists is pretty nice, and that it's like central Nebraska is useful. Now the second area is the Midwest. So you have 4 clusters here. The Duluth one being the main one. So Duluth is a city that's right here behind the dots. So you also have middle Wisconsin, northern Michigan, and far north Minnesota, which is pretty rare. So yeah, I'm not gonna go into the detail here. There's information about every single cluster in order to distinguish them. For example, here there's some stuff about the bins, some stuff about the rural roads, the urban coverage as well. Yeah, here there's a bit more agriculture in this area in middle Wisconsin. It's a bit less hilly, although it can get hilly also. It depends on the rounds, and it's less forested. Here we have northern Michigan. Again, some information, some snow coverage that is pretty known around Gaylord. Now in the northeast, you have the Vermont cluster, which is very gettable. I mean, you get that northern New England feel, as well as a pretty hilly and forested landscape. And then you have Eastern Maryland, which is super flat, obviously, and agricultural. So yeah, only 2 areas here. Again, very useful to region guess the Northeast. When you don't really know where you are, you're gonna be in one of these 2 clusters if you have striped car 23 copyright. So this doesn't work with 2024. So yeah, again, feel free to consult the document to get some information about each cluster. Here there's some stuff about the architecture being pretty important to distinguish Eastern Maryland with, for example, the rest of the South, or like the Midwest, for example. Now here the Southern US, I made a regional map here because it is pretty important to region guess the South and to know where the striped car is. It mainly really is in Texas, Louisiana, South Carolina, and Tennessee around Nashville. Those are the main cluster that you want to remember, but it also exists randomly in other places. And again, some information here. And yeah, I think this is it. So this is it for striped car. So remember, Nebraska, if you are within the plains. If you are in the Midwest, it's usually going to be pretty far north, either Michigan, Wisconsin, or Minnesota. In the Northeast, it's going to be northern Vermont or eastern Maryland. And in the South, it's going to be Texas, Louisiana, coastal Mississippi, Nashville, or South Carolina, mainly. So yeah, let's get straight into the practice. So we're going to jump in between this document, the JSON, which I have open here, which is useful to like click around, that you can download yourself and use as well. So yeah, it's going to be in the description. And lastly, we are going to be playing, so I had it open already to train for this video. We are going to be playing Eastern US Stripe 2023, so this map is linked in the document. So yeah, I haven't really played it that much. I've only played 2 seats, but yeah. Alright. So here we have a pretty northern feel. Again, you can tell that with kind of lower quality grainy road, the sandiness on the side, and these trees, for example, like feeling pretty northern. Can't really see the license plates. But yeah, I feel like these type of signs are also common in the northern states. It looks like this guy doesn't have a front plate, so maybe we could be in Michigan. I was thinking more Wisconsin, but yeah, I'm not really sure if he has a front plate or no. It does feel a bit more like Minnesota or Wisconsin, I want to say, but it could still be around Traverse City. So yeah, I was thinking around here. I'll try around here. Okay, it was just middle Wisconsin. Yep, I guess the trees weren't really vibing far enough, like you would expect some birch trees up here. So definitely makes sense. Okay, I think here most people are gonna get this, so obviously you get a plains feel with like how barren the landscape is. It's gonna be like pretty dry area of the plains, so probably thinking either Nebraska or Texas. Now some people could maybe go Texas here, and to be honest, I don't really have a proper reason to say that this is not Texas, but I feel like you wouldn't really get this rolling landscape in Texas. This is more like northern plains, and this red pavement is definitely something you could get in Texas, but it is more common in Nebraska probably, at least for the striped car. And also in Texas, the striped car you only get in coastal Texas really, or like in green Texas, let's say. Not necessarily coastal, but like eastern Texas and southern Texas, so not Lubbock and Amarillo. So you would not be getting this like dry landscape in Texas with the striped car. So that's pretty good to know. This bollard, pretty common in Nebraska as well, might be useful to know. And yeah, I think everything has been said. Don't think you really go more west than north plate in Nebraska if we look into the coverage. North plate is here, and yeah, doesn't really go further away. Now we could coverage check and try to get the road, but I don't care that much. I'm just gonna go here, I think. Sometimes you have a railway that can be useful to get the road, but here we don't have any. But yeah, it was just that road, I mean, lined up pretty nicely. Okay, again we have a plains feel, but here we have paired rumble strips, so maybe not the plains then, maybe more Midwest. Not really sure, it could just be Nebraska again. I mean, I usually don't associate paired rumble strips with Nebraska, but I guess it is possible. So like I would have thought more like Wisconsin here, I guess. But maybe it is just Nebraska because it really looks like the plains. So I can't really tell the plates. Yeah, this one could be a Nebraska plate. I can't really tell. But yeah, it would be like Grand Island maybe. Yeah, let's just send. Yeah, it was just that. I mean, then again, knowing that within the plains you're only gonna have a striped car in Nebraska is just so useful. A lot of very good players probably knew about this already, but for those who didn't, this is definitely gonna be a game changer. Okay, here we have a southern location, so this is gonna be the hardest area, I think. So we have a north-south grid, which is interesting within the south, not too common. We'd associate that more with like coastal Mississippi, Louisiana, or Texas. I guess I'll just go coastal Mississippi then. Not really sure though, but yeah. Okay, it was just Louisiana, but it works pretty fine. Yeah, the grids you get a lot in like southern Mississippi, Louisiana. If you look in here, a lot of grids. Even here, a lot of grids. In Texas, you can get it like near Beaumont. Don't really know how you pronounce this, but then it quickly becomes more random as you go more north. And yeah, in South Carolina, you don't really have grids like this. So neither do you in Nashville, but it was a bit flat for there anyways. All right. Here, as you can see, the copyright is 2024, so means that the copyright is gonna be fake. This is actually 23, but in a real game, like in a map that isn't specifically this one, you won't be able to know this. So you might think that, oh, this is 24. I can't use what I've learned, but there's a lot of fake copyrights in the US, unfortunately. So yeah, you're gonna have to deal with it. But I do think stripe 23 is more common to get than stripe 24 generally, but it's not necessarily true. I haven't mapped all of 24 really, so okay, this is what I wanted to say. Now, as for where this is a pretty hard location, very red soil. I mean, you're probably gonna hedge this anyways in like Alabama because it's 24. But yeah, I'll be going, like, it could be something random. That's what I was thinking, like one of these random things here. Okay, that's maybe why it's okay, I mean, that is 24, like January. Okay, so that makes sense. There's a bit of this type stuff because I went a little further than what I should have mapped in order to, to begin mapping 24 already. So yeah, I guess this is just a this is just a 5k. But I mean, I think most people would have went there regardless, so it's fine. But yeah, so remember, I guess the northwestern Alabama cluster is gonna be 24, which is why I didn't include it in the document. All right, so looks like no France. Yeah, this time it is 23. I mean, most of the time it's gonna be 23. You won't have a problem. It looks like it could be Nashville, could be something else, but I feel like Nashville is a pretty reasonable guess here. Yeah, it was just that. So if we look at this, yeah, I mean, it is a bit southeast of Nashville, southeast and northeast. So yeah, can't remember east of Nashville, but there's a lot of locations around Nashville, so that's good to know. Okay, here we have a more northern looking coverage that is pretty deep fall. So, and also northern houses. So I mean, since we know that striped car isn't gonna be anywhere in the Appalachia apart from Max North, Vermont, or like Greenville in South Carolina, but this is probably not gonna be Greenville with like the deep fall vibe. Then we're pretty much left with Vermont. I mean, yeah, I guess this is a green plate. That makes sense. So can we 5k this? I mean, looks like we're gonna be next to this road probably, and it is south of us. I mean, it is pretty mountainous, so probably thinking somewhere like this. Yeah, okay, nice. Yep, I mean, when you know where to look for a 5k, it is much easier to do. Okay. This is an interesting location. I was considering Texas, but we don't have France. But it does look southern, I think. I'm not sure, actually. These trees vibe a bit more north, maybe. Okay, maybe then Tennessee makes sense. Yeah, my initial vibe was very southern, but then the trees are kind of weird, so could see Tennessee makes sense. What more could it be? Northern Louisiana maybe, but don't really love that. Like, these houses look they look kind of nice, like more eastern. So yeah, let's try Tennessee. Okay, it's actually Kentucky, so that's kind of spill courage. Okay, it was actually, yeah, it was out here. Yeah, that's something that's pretty rare. You won't be getting it that much. Like, I think most of this stuff is like it got overwritten, most of the 23 around here. So yeah, not the most important. I think you'll be close anyways on this one. Now here we have an instance of white lines plus very grainy reddish pavement. Should be Texas. Very red soil. and pretty forested by Texas standards, so probably thinking like northeastern area. And yeah, it was pretty far northeast. We have a front plate here, maybe Texas again for that reason. 866, I don't think that's Texas, I think that's Tennessee. Interesting. I mean, I guess it could be Tennessee. But I don't love it with a front plate, obviously. Should we just not trust this? I don't know. I feel like. Yeah, okay. There were too many things that didn't point us towards Tennessee, and 866. I'm not even sure that's in a real code, but I think there's a lot of 860s around here. That's what I remember. But yeah, it just looked like Texas again. I mean, we had a front plate and stuff. Definitely makes sense. It's a pretty nice score here. Okay, very northern feel here. I think most people can tell. Like, I don't know. I mean, here we have birches, obviously, but even those trees looked a bit weird. Didn't look like typical southern, and the pavement was also strange. You get a lot of this lower quality pavement the more north you go, due to snow damage and that type of stuff. Now, in the north, you want to watch out for the Wisconsin sticker. Don't think we have it here, so. And it seems we also have paired rumble strips, so that would point us towards. Okay, paired rumble strips would be Wisconsin actually, and not Minnesota. So, yeah, I mean, one pole isn't really enough to check for Wisconsin stickers. So I guess we're just gonna trust. Nah, but it is Minnesota. I guess this isn't paired rumble strips then. Yeah, I don't know. It's too low quality to really gouge. But I mean, anyways, it's gonna be close. Like, yeah, see, it's like it doesn't really matter, to be honest. When you have a spam of birches, you are always gonna be in the Duluth cluster, so it's not really gonna matter which side you're on. Okay, beautiful architecture here. I think this might be in my dock, but I'm not sure. But I think I took a screenshot from that house. We don't have fronts, and it looks like kind of springish courage. Yeah, I think this is likely to be Greenville. Alright, sorry. This is likely to be Greenville cluster. If you look at this, there's a lot of like coverage around here that's like suburban and stuff, but it could also be Nashville. Like, this is a little bit hard, but I do feel like very nice southern houses are more common near Greenville, maybe. But yeah, okay. It was just downtown. Alright. Strike car. Very wintry courage. Kind of wide lines as well. Okay, this is a bit harder. It is 24. Maybe this is again gonna be some weird stuff around here. That's Greenville. Okay, this time. Yeah, it was pretty mountainous. I guess you could go there. Because of that, we're just gonna check the location again. It was a little bit hard. Yeah, good to know that it can be like hilly and deep winter. I mean, this house looked kind of poor, but I guess it also looked very Appalachian, so it makes sense for there. Alright. Okay, straight east-west grid. Okay, it says Pascagoula. I'll try to do without it, but I guess we have a Florida license plate here, so yeah. Wait, no. This is not Florida. This is a Mississippi license plate. So we are like here. Yeah, okay. I thought I how to say, I mixed up Pascagoula and Pensacola for a second, but um, hmm. I mean, how to get this without it? I mean, it looks southern, and you have an east-west road angle. You have a lot of sand. It kind of makes sense generally. So are we just here? Oh, we are downtown. Okay, makes sense. Ooh. So here we have a Pano ID location. I mean, a non-Pano ID for some reason. But I mean, if you read my doc, you're gonna get this regardless. I'm pretty sure. This is just Myrtle Beach. I mean, like coastal city, ocean east, like those hotels and like vacation residences or whatever you call them. It's just gonna be Myrtle Beach. So like, so if you go here, southern US, Myrtle Beach, there's a pretty sizable cluster and like beach town architecture, or like deep forest, deep southern pine type forest. 20,000 points though, pretty decent still. Okay, I think this black wrapping is usually a Midwest or like upper Midwest type thing. It is a pretty open landscape, which is interesting. Maybe we would be in like central Wisconsin area, but I could see this being far north since we don't have any Wisconsin stickers. Yeah, don't really know. It's just Nebraska. Okay, so I guess this wasn't like a, yeah. Okay, this is a bit of a harder one, I'd say. It's very forested for Nebraska, but the trees didn't really look like upper Midwest where I went. So okay, this is probably about as hard as 50-50 is gonna get, but yeah, the road, you probably get like rumble strips in Minnesota or Wisconsin. Yeah, other than that, this isn't exactly the easiest location, but yeah, makes sense. Okay, I mean, this time I think most people are gonna get this. You have very northern trees. It basically looks like Canada. So you're gonna be in the Duluth cluster. Now where within the cluster? I don't think it's gonna be the Manitoba border cluster because that one is usually flat. So yeah, probably just gonna send something like this. And that works. Alright. Ooh, this could be the northern Minnesota one actually. It looks like very open for Minnesota. So I could see this being like here. Yeah, okay, nice. Yeah, I mean, it kind of looks like North Dakota with a bit more trees, but like obviously you don't have striped car in North Dakota, so I'm not gonna make that mistake. Okay, my internet is a bit slow. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I mean, here you're in a pine tree forest, so it's very hard, obviously. Now, this is a 50-50 between like either you go Louisiana or you go South Carolina. I'm kind of getting a South Carolina vibe, but it is a risky guess. Like realistically in the game, you have to hedge this, I think. And South Carolina often has like coastal, like tropical, slightly tropical vegetation, but still, I kind of want to try South Carolina. So we'll see. Okay, nice. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of like deep, like planted southern pine forest in coastal South Carolina, but yeah, I don't really know how to explain this otherwise. Kind of have to play a lot of southern US to get it, maybe. Okay, this is an interesting round. Not really getting much. Yeah, I'm not really sure if I should go like Wisconsin. It's probably a bit flat for Vermont, and that would be a bit of a crazy guess. Other than that, Maryland is maybe possible. I don't really see the plate. Maryland has a very recognizable license plate. But yeah, a bit hard to see from this distance. I don't think this is a Maryland plate, so yeah, I wouldn't go for it. Yeah, I mean, I guess I go Wisconsin then. We don't have a Wisconsin sticker, but again, it's not 100%. Could see, maybe it is just like Minnesota then. But the trees, as I said, don't really feel northern Minnesota. Could it be Nebraska? Could it be Nebraska? I guess it could. But it's, I mean, this is very forested for Nebraska standards, surely. This house vibes pretty northern as well. So yeah. Maybe it's like Traverse City. Traverse City is usually on a grid, but could see it. So yeah, just gonna send this. And it was Maryland. I mean, this is a very hard location, I think. Makes sense for Maryland, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was considering Maryland to be fair, but I thought we had a non-Maryland plate. Yeah, see, this is like the orange and black checkerboard, I think you say, pattern, which is very recognizable, and you can maybe see it from far away. So I thought I would have seen it, and I did not. This house though makes a lot of sense for Maryland. Yeah, that one a bit less. But yeah, I mean, the house's vibe definitely East Coast, so. And yeah, I guess I shouldn't have trusted that one plate, which is a bit unfortunate. So yeah, I mean, Maryland is like probably the hardest cluster to get. Like, often you don't think about it when you should, and vice versa. So yeah. Okay, I don't think we have France. Okay, maybe I go Nashville. Yeah, okay, nice. Yeah, it is east of Nashville. I don't know why I keep going south. Okay, this is Texas. I mean, we have very wide lines with rumble strips in the middle, front plates, red pavement, southern vegetation. These houses are very typical of Texas, like red brick houses with steep, dark roofs. That's really typical of Texas and Texas adjacent states like Oklahoma and Louisiana. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Okay, nice. Okay, surely this is just gonna be Nebraska. I mean, very plains landscape, very dry. And again, you don't have this anywhere else. You don't have coverage in Amarillo and like northwestern Texas, so it's not gonna be there. So yeah, probably just going like. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, this is very humbling actually. Okay, this is actually very good. We got this in game because this island has a very interesting topography and landscape. So I do mention it in my guide. So again, if you read the guide, you won't make the same mistake as I just did. Corpus Christi. So this is because usually it looks like this. You're gonna be in like big fields that are like kind of depressing looking because it's winter, with a lot of windmills. And then you have that one island with like the blurry striped car coverage, and it looks very barren. So it's like Padre Island, and yeah. I mean, it didn't like it looked kind of weird, like the sandy hills there, but at the same time, like it's hard to think about. Like you have to really, really think, like actually think about the luck to not miss this. But nah, it makes a lot of sense. So I'm gonna just show you a bit how it looks like. I mean, this is the same log basically. If you go down here, it's like the same. It's like blurry coverage, and I mean here it's easier because you have like coastal amenities or whatever you call it. Yeah, again, more north it's a bit more gettable maybe because there's more stuff happening. Then you have the city. It's just like coastal resort town. But yeah, pretty good that we got this in game. Like very baity and worth remembering probably. Surely this is Tennessee. Don't really get anything else from this. Yeah. Okay. A bunch of rumble strips. Okay, and it's black car, so maybe maybe we wanna consider Myrtle Beach again. I mean, it was like we had black car here last time, so black car 24 because it's like 25, sorry, because it's like a Pano ID. But yeah, I mean, as you can see so far, there hasn't been a lot of Pano ID, so I guess it's just gonna be here again. Does feel coastal, like this type of house, wooden house with like colored shutters. It's very typical Carolinas. So yeah. So I guess now you know that there's Black Car 25 around there. Okay, this looks like the northern Minnesota cluster again, but I'm not sure yet. I mean, the trees are very short, a lot of birches. It's basically like Manitoba, so I guess we can safely go here, surely. Okay. I think this, so the pavement makes sense for like the plains, and then this type of hazy coverage you get a lot in Nebraska, I think. And then like the corn, the slight rolling hills around, and I mean everything here I think makes a lot of sense for Nebraska. There's some trees, but it's not like too forested. So yeah, just gonna send. And we were here, like makes sense around the river, those hills. Okay, I'm glad we also got this location. So this should just be Gaylord with the snow courage. Where's Gaylord? It's here. I think it's like southeast of Gaylord. Yeah, it's a bit more south. Okay, so no need to like look around. I mean, you just see snow with the striped car. Just know it's Gaylord. Okay, not exactly sure where the plate is. Oh wait, maybe it's Vermont. That makes sense. We have the bunch of mountains and it's fall courage. Yeah, in this type of yellow house vibes more like northeast generally, and then I mean you also have mountains, so kind of has to be Vermont. It's not gonna be Maryland, obviously, like Eastern Maryland. And I think we're looking at mountains on the New York side, like on the other side from Lake Champlain. So maybe we're like around here. Yeah, okay. It's like very recognizable ridge. Again, that's in my guide. You do see that ridge quite often. That's on the New York side. Okay, I think this is probably Texas. Not 100% sure, but it looks like Texas, I think. Yeah, it's San Antonio. I mean, you don't have winter coverage in Nebraska, so probably gonna be Texas when it's like winter, even if it looks a bit dry. So yeah, it can look dry around San Antonio, to be fair. But yeah, pretty good game here. Didn't make any mistakes. Gonna play a last one, and again we have the Black Car 25. So that's like very new. That's like been recovered since the last time I made this video. So very new courage. But yeah, should be Myrtle Beach. Okay, we have paired rumble strips. We have this county KK sign, so it should be Wisconsin. With the county like with 2 letters sign. Also paired rumble strips. You're never gonna see in Minnesota, so it's gonna be Wisconsin, or like North Dakota, Montana, but like that's not in this like striped car 23. So and then Michigan also has them. A bunch of other states also have them, but yeah, won't be naming everything. So I mean, probably southern Wisconsin then. Yeah, okay, I mean middle. Okay, it's pretty hilly and looks southern, like a lot of small southern vibing trees, and yeah, I don't know. This just looks not like Vermont, to be honest. So you're gonna be thinking Greenville or Nashville, Tennessee. I do think it is a bit hilly for Nashville, but I wouldn't be surprised if it actually is. So yeah, I actually kind of prefer Nashville a little bit, but yeah, we'll see. Okay, nice, good switch. There's a lot of like more springish, like even winterish coverage in Greenville. Um, if you remember the lock we had before, it was like deep winter in the like Greenville area. So yeah, it's taking some time to load. Yeah, sorry about this. All right, we are back with Southern Pines. Could this be South Carolina? Like it's like very gentle green vegetation. A lot of long grass as well next to the road. I could also see Texas. That's the problem here. Like the pavement, it's a bit of a bad pavement. Nah, actually, I don't really like South Carolina. I think I'll try Texas here. Would have been good if the cars were facing the other direction. But yeah, this is a hard one. I'm gonna try to commit, like, again, realistically, on a run like this, when it's very ambiguous, maybe you shouldn't commit, but I don't know. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, it's just Mississippi. Yep. I mean, the cluster does extend like all across Louisiana into southern Mississippi, so maybe shouldn't commit Texas, but I did get kind of a Texas vibe. Okay, this time this is not going to be Padre Island, this is just going to be Nebraska. And we're going to go like around here maybe. Yeah, it's a bit further out, makes sense. Okay. So I'm going to end the video here. I'll just briefly review like the stuff that we didn't see. So like Nebraska cluster, the main like easy cluster that most people are gonna know about because it is so gettable. In the Midwest, you wanna remember. This is a pretty good one to remember. It's pretty rare to get it, but it's pretty good because it's so easy to like recognize, and it's easily a lot of points because people might go like South Dakota or southern Minnesota. So like remember short trees and fall coverage up here near Manitoba. Duluth cluster, the main one to be remembered when it looks like northern trees, birches, northern pines, and like either you have Wisconsin pear rumble strips or you don't have them, then you go Minnesota. I feel like that's usually the main way. Or Wisconsin stickers, also pretty good. Middle Wisconsin, it's a bit more agricultural, kind of feels like Iowa or Illinois, but a bit more forested. So yeah, it's usually very gettable because you don't have anything else in the Midwest. That's covered with striped car. Then you have Michigan. It's a bit more flat and it's very forested. And you have the Gaylord snow that can be useful to know. So that's for the Midwest. I didn't make a Midwest map because it's usually fairly like gettable, the cluster. Then in the Northeast you only have Vermont and Eastern Maryland, so this should be pretty straightforward for most people. I mean, Maryland is super flat. Vermont is very mountainous, so like there shouldn't be a 50-50 here. And as you saw, Vermont is a deep fall, which can be also useful to remember. And it can also be summer. Southern US, here I made a practice map because this can be very tricky. Yeah, Eastern Texas, Louisiana, Southern Mississippi, Eastern Nashville, and either Greenville or Myrtle Beach in South Carolina. So pretty useful to region guess to south, like to know where the striped car is. Can also get it in Florida, but I think that's pretty rare these days. So yeah, guys, I hope you found this video interesting and that you learned a bunch, and that you'll be able to use striped car to region guess the Eastern US that otherwise can be very tricky to region guess, especially without a car plate or like any road meter. So yeah, thanks you very much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, tell me whatever guide you want next. I think I'll be recording black car obviously pretty soon, and maybe dark blue and bonus cars after. Or maybe I'll do black and dark blue car. That would make more sense. But yeah, thanks very much for watching and see you soon.